Hi, I'm Dr. William Jackson. I'm a former Buddhist monk and health psychologist. I'm also the founder of Skillful Means. Today, I'd like to talk to you about mindfulness in relationships. Mindfulness practice begins with yourself. It also ends with yourself in a way, and I'll get to that. So first, with mindfulness, we're going inward and recognizing our emotions, we're recognizing feelings, we're recognizing thoughts, we're recognizing our reactions. This allows us to take responsibility for what is happening within us. A lot of times in relationship, we can kind of blame somebody else for how we're feeling. We can blame somebody for different thoughts that are coming up in us. Things like, you made me feel this way, or you made me angry. Well, something that happened, I got angry about it, right? Being able to sort of bring your attention back, recognize your own responses, your own feelings, and taking responsibility for that, because you see it happening internally. And what this does also is this helps you to take control back of your feelings. Because as soon as you blame it on somebody else, you've lost control. You've lost the ability to actually do something about it because you've given somebody else the responsibility of you solve this, right? You give away your power in that way. So really, mindfulness helps us to take responsibility for our own feelings, our own thoughts, our own reactions, and helps us to recognize what needs in our life are not being met. So when we recognize our feelings, we can also recognize what our needs are. And once you clarify those, you look deeply, you feel into it. What is this feeling? What need is not being met? What need is being thwarted or ignored or whatever it is? Then you can communicate that to your partner clearly, without the reactiveness. Because a lot of times when you have a need that's not being met, we say, you're a jerk for not doing this, and I felt terrible, and I'm so irritated by the fact that you did whatever, right? We've all been there. But that doesn't help us to actually get our need met. It usually will just cause an argument because the other person is going to feel blamed. They're going to feel like they're a bad person. And then they're going to say, no, I'm not a bad person. You're a bad person, right? And then it all begins. The thing that happens in your relationship happens again. So taking responsibility for our own stuff, clarifying our need, and then just communicating, hey, I need to be listened to. I need to be heard. I need connection. I need to be loved. I need to be told that I'm loved, whatever it happens to be. So this also moves us to a fourth thing, which ultimately is fourth or fifth thing. I don't know what we're on now, which is being willing to have difficult conversations and feel difficult feelings. And that's when you need to communicate something to your partner. You might be afraid that we might upset them. We might be afraid of their reaction. And therefore, we sort of hold back how we're actually feeling, what we're really thinking, what we really need. And then we become resentful. So being clear about what our feelings are, what our needs are, communicating that, and being willing to go through the uncomfortable feelings that might come up when we actually communicate how we feel and what we really need. And being willing to sort of stick in there and communicate and go through that process with the other person on one side or the other. When somebody speaks with you and they tell you what they need, and it's like, yeah, I feel like I'm doing that already, and you don't do that for me. And noticing all those sort of things that come up and being willing to go through that process with them, be patient, and then they'll have more motivation to do that with you. Some pitfalls. What are some pitfalls that we might fall into with meditation culture, right? So we might be in this, hey, I'm only going to let in the love and the light. I'm not going to actually go into any of these unpleasant feelings, or I don't want to deal with your negative energy, right? That can be a pitfall because ultimately then you start ignoring things. You start ignoring problems. You don't have the conversations that you really need to develop a wholesome connection, a deep relationship, right? With no mud, no lotus, as Thich Nhat Hanh says, right? We need to be able to dig through some of that stuff to enjoy the best parts of relationship. The other is sort of blaming somebody else, like, hey, you should be meditating. Like, you're not meditating, or you're not doing yoga, or you're not taking care of yourself. And therefore, that's our big problem. Actually, no, the meditation practice is for yourself. You can encourage somebody else to practice, but blaming somebody else or forcing them to do that is not the way. Everybody has a sort of different way that they're going to manage stress. And of course, you can suggest, and you should encourage them to practice meditation, yoga, psychotherapy, exercise, eating healthy, sleeping well, all of that sort of stuff, for sure, to be a good partner. But ultimately doing your side, and if the relationship is not working for you, if you're not getting something that you need, clearly stating that, and then, finding that. somewhere in your life. Lastly, being able to, this brings us first full circle, making sure that you're taking responsibility for what's going on in your life. Okay, what's going on for your life, your own happiness, your own pursuit of well-being, that is your responsibility, and nobody's going to hold you back there. Okay, so being able to communicate, hey, this is where I need to go, this is where I need to spend my attention. You can be on for the ride or not. And I think that that's a totally reasonable perspective to have. And some of us are in difficult situations and might not be able to do that completely, but moving towards that, keeping your mind inclined in that direction, is sort of integrating mindfulness into your life. So, if you have any questions, please reach out on our Skillful Means platform, which is community.skillfulmeans.life, or check out our website, skillfulmeans.life, for all of our courses and classes. And feel free to reach out to me or anybody else from Skillful Means. So enjoy your meditations, happy meditations, and hopefully I'll see you all very soon. Take care. Catch my breath and I say, I'm the one you're looking for. So come on, dance a little dance. Take my hand, darling, take a chance. You be my queen, I'll be your king. Show you everything that you've been missing, shorty.